the song of the kawaii bird, the last male of the species calling for a partner who will never come. That is what extinction sounds like. It also sounds like the revving of a chainsaw, the thump of a harpoon and the whistling of a bullet. Extinction looks like miles of raised rainforest and oceans with more plastic than fish. It smells like car diesel and pollution. It feels like hopelessness, like the end of beauty and wonder. And my generation will be most affected when plastic and pollution and power have gained supremacy over all else. On the subject of power, we must also talk about trophy hunting, the ultimate misuse of power. 660 days is the average gestation period for an elephant. 0.2 seconds is the average time taken for a human to pull a trigger. When we look at it like that, it already seems horrific. But what about the fact that a trophy hunter does not only kill one animal, he leaves behind a herd of elephants, or a pride of lions, or a tower of giraffes. He leaves behind a family, sometimes babies, sometimes sisters or brothers or friends. And it sounds like anthropomorphism, but we know now that many animals feel empathy and compassion and, unfortunately, grief. Grief so deep that babies stay by their dead mothers for weeks on end, or herds of elephants return year after year to mourn over the bones of their loved ones. So when they feel emotions on the same level as humans, shouldn't we, at the very least, not harm them? In every culture and every country, as children, we are taught to respect, not ruin, and we are taught to show compassion, not corruption. So why is it then that these rules don't apply to all adults? But today it's not only cruelty that we are standing up against, it is also the extinction of much of the natural world. We have entered into the 6th mass extinction, and nothing could have made that clearer than over 1.4 million young people striking off school last month to ask for a future, not only for ourselves, but for our planet and the species that we share it with. And we asked your generation, because although you are not the first generation to know we are destroying our planet, you are the last who can do anything about it. When I was very young, I was, just as many young children are, fascinated with animals, with earthworms and snails and birds, with dogs and elephants and primates. All young children are. You can see it in their eyes as they fondly stroke an earthworm or watch ants constructing their nest. It is this passion which we must rekindle. Every religion and culture has a different notion of paradise, but they're all essentially the same. They're all lush and green and full of wildlife. It is that image which we must hang on to as we move forward. In one speech, I can't change the planet, but I can change mindsets, and they're not as different as they may seem. Our path ahead is clear. Our leaders must lead, but so must we. Young people all over the world are standing up and not only asking for a future, but creating it. And today, so are we. We are fighting back. Today, the power belongs to those of us who see wildlife as individuals, not as capital to benefit and exploit. Today, we are raising our voices, speaking from our hearts and speaking the truth. It will be extremely difficult, but as a great activist once said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent on things that matter. Thank you.